Thanks, buddy. So hey everybody, this is Blightwind from Gosu Gamers, and I am joined by B-Ballin for a Gosu League Division 1 game between Next.kz and Kaipi. How you doing, B-Ballin?
I'm doing pretty well, man. I'm pretty excited for this. Next.kz, Kaipi, two strong teams, but teams that we don't often hear about. But they definitely have some tricks up their bags. Hopefully, Next.kz can pick up their Ursa and just maul everybody to death. As I'm a big fan of Ursa.
Yeah, Next.kz is definitely kind of one of those teams that stands out. Yeah, they're not the most popular team, but they definitely have a good following because they do pick up some off-the-wall picks like that Ursa. This is game 2. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get in for game 1. Maybe we'll see if we can do a replay cast of that. But it looks like Next.kz did take the first game, so Kaipi's gonna have to try and fight out for this one, see if they can. I think this is a best of 3, I'm not 100% sure. But we're going to see a Templar Assassin banned out right away here. Pretty standard. I mean, I imagine we'll see your classic Bat Rider, Magnus, Bounty Hunter. There, and as soon as I say there's Bat Rider as well.
Yeah, and so it'll remain to be seen whether Kaipi will ban out the Magnus, like you mentioned, or will they have to give up the Bounty Hunter, the Sven, heroes like that. Pretty sure this is not the patch version, but I could be mistaken. I think I might be mistaken.
No,
I'm
I
not
don't
too sure.
think it is. So the Shadow Blade changes, in case you aren't aware, they changed around how Shadow Blade will interact with critical strikes and cleaves. So you can't do cutesy stuff like Shadow Walk, Windwalk, Janata, or Shadow Blade, Windwalk, Janatas.
Yeah.
There's the Bounty Hunter pickup, so a very powerful off-laner. I mean, he's so popular, just like Magnus, pretty much impossible to kill, and then also the fact that he'll be able to make up any farm he missed with track. So he doesn't really, he ends up being a very relevant thing within the mid and late game.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter definitely a very strong hero, and this is definitely not the 677 version as we would have gotten an update. But looks like Kaipi gonna pick up the Darkseer, and we'll see if they decide to pair it with Jakiro. Jakiro seems to make the most sense here. Best support in the game. Ice Path, pretty good spell. No, they pick up the Wisp, knowing that Next.kz love to pick up the Wisp for themselves, so trying to deny from them. Wisp, I feel like, is a pretty risky support hero, because if he gets shut down early, he's pretty much useless. Like, Wisp doesn't really have any comeback mechanics if the other team's smart. Meanwhile, Next.kz picking up two other melee heroes, NA, trending very hard recently, and you know him, you love him, it's Sven.
Yeah, and I love what you brought up about that Wisp, and you're right, he's a good support in the sense that he allows you to gank really well, and he's got some good lane presence with those spirits. But aside from that, he doesn't have any bounce back. It's not like a Jakiro who can give you a whole bunch of team fight ability. You basically want to pair him up with a Chaos Knight, a Sven, a Tiny, someone like that, and just do relocate ganks all over the place, get yourself a huge lead. On the flip side, the Nyx Assassin, who's been played recently as a support, is a lot more reliable in that sense, gives you that ability to kind of scout around. Sven, very good mid-game carry. So far, Next.kz's lineup seems a little bit more solid, but we'll have to see what the next two picks are.
Yep, as with Chaos Knight, I'm always iffy about Chaos Knight just because he seems to lose a lot more than he does win. NA will burn through a lot of Chaos Knight's mana, even though he doesn't have the highest intel gain, burn through a lot of Darkseer's mana as well. So NA really good in that regard. Also, when the Tether / Ion Shell gank comes in, or the Vacuum, NA will just stun off. NA is such a really interesting hero, and I'm glad to see his return to Dota 2. Meanwhile, Kaipi, I think it might be wise for them to go for a Keeper the Light pickup here, but again, Keeper the Light not really strong against such hardcore gankers like NA and Bounty Hunter, but also to refill the mana of Chaos Knight and Darkseer when they need to have problems. I don't know if I'm reading this wrong, but Enigma is going to be the last banned by Next.kz, so not worried in that regard. Next.kz do have to pick up a couple of supports. They need some range, otherwise they're going to have very, very low lane presence.
Oh yeah, I imagine that you'll see stuff like the Jakiro picked up by Next.kz. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see that picked up right now, just to give them a bit more kind of, yeah, good supporter, range. We'll see probably like a Co-op or something for their mid lane. Rubik, that works as well.
Dire team
Especially up against that Darkseer, you can steal the vacuum, you can steal the wall.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't get versatility, then might as well just try to steal that vacuum and go to town on everybody with that Sven cleave. And very important, it gives them some range. Also helps switch up the lanes a bit, as now it's a bit more difficult to call which lane both heroes will go to. I'm probably going to see Rubik in a supportive capacity, but definitely has the possibility to roam to that mid lane position. So just a pretty versatile pick that can definitely help switch things up a bit. As Kaipi, it'll be interesting to see what they pick up. They have their support, they have their carry. They pick up the Chen, giving them some early game pushing. So Kaipi, they're pretty much all in on the early game.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of like how you said, Next.kz's lanes are a little more difficult to predict. Kaipi's, you can pretty much, like, it's pretty much textbook as to what their lanes are going to be, which isn't necessarily always a bad thing, because then you might be able to pull a little bit of mind games, and they might pick up a strong mid, then you send, like, Chaos Knight Wisp there and shut them down. But we'll have to see what this last pick from Next.kz is.
Yeah, Next.kz, I think they're probably going to pick up another range here. No Jakiro being picked up at all. Pretty shocking, for me at least.
Oh,
and there it is. I was wondering, why did it take so long to get, quote-unquote, the best support hero in the game? But, hey, last pick. Nothing too interesting to switch it up, but not really too surprising to see Jakiro being picked up here, as Jakiro definitely can do it all.
Yeah, and I mean, that raises the question, are they going to send the Nyx Assassin mid, or are they going to do a mid Rubik? Or are they even going to do the Jakiro mid that's been semi-trending lately and not really working? I think that probably the Nyx, I want to say, would probably be the better choice.
Yeah, I mean, what lane opposition does he have? As Sand King is going to be the last pick up. Remember, like 6 or 7 months ago, Sand King was constantly picked in the first round. Now we never see him. Very strong team fight hero, but often as a support, he does tend to sort of... Sand King doesn't really scale that well, and if you don't really get that fast blink dagger up, his ultimate doesn't really gain effectiveness. But it can definitely be useful, because that 50% slow through BKB will definitely hurt Sven as he's sort of trying to run and rip your head off. So an interesting pickup, helps with their early game aggression, as Sand King pretty strong in the early game, but secures the fact that Kaipi, if they go to the late game, they're pretty much done.
Yeah, and I just remembered I need to turn on my open mic, and I don't know if you have as well, because this does have an in-game ticket. Shout out now to all the people watching within the game.
Let me turn on mine as well, I guess.
And we are into the game, so I will go... Well, Kaipi's still picking everything, so I will go over Next.kz's lineup real quick here.
Prepare for battle!
We have Mantis on that Rubik, Cat on the Nyx Assassin, Watafaka on the Bounty Hunter, KZ9, well, 9 I guess is just his name, on the Jakiro, and Topor on the Sven, if you want to go over Kaipi.
Yep. RMN is going to be playing the Sand King, Kachkava is going to be playing the Chen. Pretty much stand for everybody these days. Kachkava is... Pabek is playing the Darkseer, Zar is playing the Chaos Knight, and Babar is playing the Wisp. So, yeah, pretty interesting game to see, as my open mic thing is spazzing out. I'm not too sure why.
Turn on mute co-caster.
Ah, I see. Let me see. Mute co-caster. No, it's on. It's just spazzing out anyway, I guess.
They really need to fix this. But alright, I think we're all good. If someone in the Twitch chat, well, if someone in-game isn't hearing it, either of us, please hop into my Twitch chat, twitch.tv/Blightwind, and let me know. So we've got a quick pause coming out here, probably just discussing lanes and such. Looks like, well, Bounty Hunter is going to be going up towards that top lane, but more than likely they'll look to do a little bit of an invade into the Dire jungle just to get some wards down.
Yeah, as no items have been picked up because the game literally just started. Bounty Hunter most likely going to be in offlane position. Jakiro, Rubik, or Jakiro looks like NA NA is not really rushing the fast wall, so he's going to be in support capacity. because he'd have more gold saved up if he was rushing that fast bottle. So Rubik is probably going to be in the mid lane. So what do you think about this lane setup? NA as a hardcore support, as it's been working, but just as an NA fan, I'm not really too big of a fan of NA not getting too much experience, but hey, I guess if it works, then why fix it?
Yeah, I think in terms of like the actual lane, it's a very powerful lane, but I agree with you. I'm a huge fan of the Nyx Assassin getting that fast level 6 and being able to just roam around, blow up that Wisp, like just annihilate some of these squishier supports.
Yeah, NA definitely needs a lot of mana to get going, so one of the things that is helpful is to get really good arcane boots. So by the time you start ganking and doing your work, you will have mana refilled constantly. But Rubik definitely a capable solo mid, probably a better solo mid than NA, just because he can control the lane a bit better. Mainly see what the fuck, just playing it cool, playing it close to the bone, just trying to scout items and scout the positioning of the heroes before he really has to dedicate himself to the lane. But is using some of the mana, but still a lot of time left on the clock before the game actually gets started.
Oh yeah, and I like that, you know, he's holding true to the bounty hunter style and just kind of hiding in the trees like a ninja, and Chen almost spotted him out there. And I also want to give a big shout out to Next.kz for their logo in the fountain. We need sponsors.
Yeah, Next.kz is still playing under the Next tag, but I guess Next dropped him a while ago, as Bounty Hunter is going to do a nice creep pull. We'll see if he's going to be successful in his 1,000-mile journey back to his own tower. He might just get stuffed by Czar, as Bounty Hunter completely pulling the creeps. Yeah, pretty good strat, as he's going to get more experience than he would otherwise, but we'll see if he gets stopped.
Why is there nobody in this? Why is there no one bottom lane for Dire? Like, they're just letting Sven absolutely free farm, no opposition at all?
Well, I mean, Darkseer, he needs experience on levels, probably more than other heroes do in the offlane position. So if he goes in the tri lane against a triple stun tri lane, he's going to get stuffed completely. He will just die.
Yeah, I was just more wondering where he is. Yeah, it looks like he is going to stack up this small camp and use it for a bit of early levels with the Ion Shell.
Yeah, but then that sort of comes in conflict with Chen, because Chens these days really just love getting that fast level 6 ASAP, and with Darkseer stealing some of the neutral camps, Chen will have a bit more of a difficult time in getting that regard. So already it's 1.5 minutes in the game, but KP seems to be a little bit on the back foot, but definitely a lot of time for this game to be played out.
Oh, for sure. I mean, again, it is only 1.5 minutes in. We have seen a very fast sentry drop down to shut down Watafaka here. Just, they want him, again, sort of like they want to shut down this Darkseer. They don't want the Bounty Hunter getting any experience, really. The longer they can delay that level 6, the longer they can delay that big influx of gold that Track will give them.
Yep, definitely. As solo mid sanking, so he's going to get a lot more farm, probably going to get a faster Blink Dagger than normal. Won't really be able to kill the Rick if he really plays his cards right, but I'm a big fan of sanking getting experience and farm, because Epicenter, when you get it going early on, it just rips through the entire team, especially if a vacuum is sufficiently leveled, as now that the creep equilibrium has been pushed a bit, Darkseer has made his way back to the bottom lane, and now he has a point to Surge, at the very least, because if he just stayed in lane before, he'd have a point to Ion Shell, of course, but no points in the Surge. But now he has 1 level of each, so he can play a bit more bravely.
Yeah, and it looks like Bounty Hunter's going for a scout again, trying to find the Chen, see if he can steal some neutrals. But they're definitely keeping an eye on him. Wisp coming over, Czar making sure that no shenanigans happen.
Nope, and just checking out the early farm, both of the carries are farming relatively well. Again, this is very early on in the game. It'll be interesting to see what style, because KP definitely has to play pretty aggressively, and just checking out the Wisp experience, level 2, so pretty early on again. But Wisp really wants to get going at ASAP, because again, he really doesn't scale well as a support.
Nobody on Kaipi except maybe the Darkseer, just because Wall will always stay really relevant, because it just scales off the the power of the enemy team. But the rest of their team is pretty like early mid-game, push very, very fast, get yourself a nice big advantage. They really don't want this going late game.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see when the Kaipi push does start to come in as Chen, now that Darkseer's left the jungle, has hit level 4 pretty quickly, so he's getting
There's a
those levels
Storm
racked up
Bolt onto
fast.
the Darkseer. There's an Impale to line it up, and oh, the Ice Path misses. He looks like he'll just surge into the jungle and survive. Good try by Next.kz. Messed up a little bit with the layering of the stuns, but it just shows the power of this dry lane.
Yeah, it's just saying, it's just going to give Darkseer something to think about as Babar nicely dodges the Blind Impale and Ice Path, so NA is going to be out of mana for a bit.
Oh, but we
No,
see a
he still has
hasted
enough
Rubik.
mana.
Telekinesis. He's going to get thrown back, and there you go. First, or no, not even first blood. They were cheated it by the RMN on the Chaos Knight, who picks off the Bounty Hunter.
Yep, and already we're going to see some tower pressure being applied, so that's definitely what KP wants, to kill the Bounty Hunter, get Chaos Knight so much farm, already has 2k gold in the bank. So KP definitely happy with that exchange, of course. The fact that their Darkseer died isn't going to help him, but Darkseer already level 4, so he's doing pretty solidly in that regard. And NA, not the highest mana pool hero, did have a clarity, so he's going to be able to tangle up. Meanwhile, just checking out Stanking, has his bottle, not yet boots, so Rubik doing a really nice job in that regard, as he has boots but no bottle, so interesting variation of builds here.
Oh no, Rubik has bottle, it's just on the, he's just bottle crowing.
Yep, so we'll see if the Sentinel tried to go for another kill attempt on the Darkseer, as he can definitely be pressed down, and meanwhile Bounty Hunter, only level 3, is really having a difficult time in that lane, and if more Sentry Wards are being picked up, nope, no more Sentry Wards being picked up, but Bounty Hunter does have to be so careful, so KP pretty satisfied in this regard.
Yeah, and it looks like he might just abandon the top lane, go for a bit of a roam, try and get this Sand King maybe. I mean, with a Janata and then a Telekinesis, they also have Burrow Strike stolen. So they could do this. There you go, there's the Janata, but he's just going to Burrow Strike away right away.
Yep, meanwhile in the top lane, Maya's picked up by the Chaos Knight, not really for the gold, more just for the experience, so he can get a huge experience advantage. And here comes the push with those Skeleton Warriors and the 2 Trolls, as those Skeleton Warriors, not only do they tank a tower shot, they do pretty good damage, and this tower is going to die pretty fast, and they might even be able to move on to the next one, unless there's a teleport in by the NA or the Jakiro, or the Rubik. We'll see what Next.kz decides to do, because this top tier 2 tower will just die if this push goes unimpeded.
Yeah, I mean, the Double Troll Warlord, like you said, the Skeleton Warriors in fact do more damage than a melee creep. Wisp is in a little bit of a bad spot, but he manages to tether out. But this tier 2 is already in a bad spot. Chaos Knight does get impaled. RMN is in a bit of a bad spot, and there go Fade Bolt, finish that off. Wadafaka picks up the Wisp as well, and Chen needs to run.
Yeah, but Chen can't run as Rubik is just so fast. And the Trolls are going to die as well, so there goes another 200 gold into the pocket. Nice recovery by Next.kz, and that's going to give the Next.kz a huge experience advantage. Well, not really too huge. It's going to allow them to get ahead at the very least, as they were behind. But also stopping that Chaos Knight at this point in the game, very, very important, as he is going to have the minus up. We'll see if they transition to the mid tower, as the Reality Rift does just barely lift that casting point of Chaos Knight just too long. Meanwhile, Sven going to go for that fast armlet, I imagine, and then probably BKB.
Skill build for him. No points in Warcry, just 2 Stormbolt and the Cleave. He just wants to constantly keep this pushed out. He knows that Darkseer is going to like constantly be pushing the equilibrium towards him. So he just wants to clear out waves as fast as possible.
Yeah, I guess they're abandoning the idea of killing the Darkseer, so might as well just farm up as fast as possible, get through the stack near the rune as fast as possible, and try to go for those Ancients. Not too sure how this build will pan out, as Sven, if he gets pressured early on, Cleave won't really help, but looks like KP are backing out for the moment, so this build might just very well work out for the best.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one that works better if you're shooting for the longer term. I would kind of like to see at least 1 point in that Warcry just to give you that little bit of armor infuse, and the speed boost isn't exactly terrible, so just give you a little bit of an option in some sticky situations, but I guess he hasn't really been ganked on. He's just been able to sit here, right-click creeps, So he does.
Oh,
he's got all that
Chen
Oh.
say it ain't so. The track and the NA just come in and tear him a new one, as that's going to give NA and Bounty Hunter a nice bit of gold. So the yanking party is starting to come into effect, and every time Vendetta is off cooldown, expect these two brothers just to hunt everybody and get at least one kill. And now Chen is going to have to be so careful in the jungle.
Yeah, unfortunately, our favorite Holy Knight on his strange Rhino Tiger is struggling. I mean, at least they didn't kill his creeps. Then that is actually a pretty good thing for him. They could have easily finished off this Troll Warlord, but you do not want to be giving this much track gold early on.
Nope, definitely not. As Sand King Fish, the phase boots. We'll see if he goes for Blink Dagger now, because he's not going for the arcane boots. I imagine he's going to start getting that. They really need the Sand King to get themselves back in the game. Well, they're still very much in the game. It's very early to tell, but in order to try to catch up in terms of experience, because now that Bounty Hunter and NA are starting to get their mojo going since Vendetta just cooled down, the ganks will not be pretty without the help of a Blink Dagger Sand King.
Yeah, Ice Path to break the Sand King out of a Sandstorm, but he just takes a bunch of damage, and he's able to bottle up. No harm, no foul, really. And here we go. Another ganking party going into the jungle. And there... Oh, poor RMN.
Oh wow, they didn't even wait for the track as RMN just solo HP. Chaos Knight, pretty tanky, could probably survive an NA by himself, but since he was such low HP, he just died in a matter of moments. And now Bounty Hunter with that track, trying to scout out the opposing team as Centaur is going to be placed, trying to scout out the two invisible brothers. As looks like Next.kz seem to have pretty solid advantage in terms of map control at this stage in the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the unfortunate thing about going for this like early kind of push style, is if you don't get this push, I mean, they've taken one tower, but then they've also given up 5 kills and basically let the Sven free farm. So they need to really make something happen very, very soon here. And that was just a smoke absolutely wasted by the Bounty Hunter. That was some cute play.
Yep, as Bounty Hunter, level 7, but has the phase boots. Meanwhile, I think Kaipi know they have to get some map control back. Even though they already have a tower advantage, they want to get the Invisible Brothers just a little bit more pressured, as Wisp is going to get tracked, might just get stunned. Here comes a huge engagement. Chaos Bolt is going to be stunned onto the NA, but he just pops Spike Carapace, and Wisp does take the fall, was tracked. Meanwhile, Iron Man is going to get dual breath. Looks like NA does die as well. Here comes the Shuriken toss onto the Chen, who again was tracked. Meanwhile, Mantis is in a lot of trouble against the double illusion. It's going to magic one out. Looks like the illusion's actually going to block the Chaos Knight, and they're going to go back in for Iron Man. They are going to pick up the kill. Track was not used for that one, but getting 2 track kills. And Next.kz looking in a pretty good position, but here comes a burst strike by Second. Going to try to kill the Bounty Hunter. Can he get it? He is gonna get the Bounty Hunter, but pays for it with his life, as Bounty Hunter got another track kill gold. And Next.kz, we're gonna start to see that gold graph jump up, because Sven, he's in his own world, just happily farming away. And the track kill is, again, just such a useful spell.
Oh, it's ridiculous, the power of track. And yeah, like you said, we've got Armlet, we've got Treads already finished on the Sven. He's just kind of playing one-man Dodo. And that was a less than desirable engagement, let's say that much for Kaipi. I mean, they still have potential, I think, if they get a good Epi off. Was Epi even... No, I don't even think it was used in that, so that was a huge detriment to them in that fight. But everyone just kind of was stunned and blown up before they could really do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure what Sand King went for phases instead of arcanes, because mana was definitely a big issue for him in that fight. Burrow strike the second time very late on, as looks like Dark Seer.
Oh, NA, you... Oh, run! Use that salve! And I think NA is going to die now. Or not. Clutch impales, tracks, the Shuriken toss! Wow. Next level plays from Next.kz here.
Spike Carapace reflects the test of faith, and Armin might just have to get the heck out of there. Impale Chaos Bolt gonna mutually stun each other, as Armin's gonna keep chasing, but he's gonna have to back off. Here comes Rubik in the telekinesis, and NA will drain the last bits of mana from Chaos Knight unless he in-trade switches. Meanwhile, Bounty Hunter is just going on a tear, killing the Chen, and now RMN. Oh no, as another track, so much gold, so little time. This is
starting to look really, really grim for them. The epicenter is blown. Now is he going to be able to steal it? Steal it, steal it! Oh, he just kills him.
Wow, and another track gold. This Bounty Hunter. Oh my god, this is...
Now
and again,
just...
it's not like Kaipi scales well either. This is just looking very, very bad.
Yeah, and I mean, it's normally in a game, you don't want to call it at like the 14-minute mark, but when you invest so much into your early and mid-game, and then you are all of a sudden 11 kills behind... I don't want to say it's over for Kaipi, but it's definitely on the edge of a knife for them.
Yeah, I think if they start losing towers, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble, because Wisp, again, the support who thrives on map control, Wisp just hit level 6, they haven't been able to get any relocate ganks, and now, since Sen's been left all by his lonesome, now that he's almost level 11 with the armlet, they can't really even two-man gank this Sven anymore. So, I'm just really... I'm not too sure about Kaipi's chances. They still can get back in, but a lot of pressure is going to have to go on the Sand King. He's going to have to get his dagger up ASAP.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to farm fast, and unfortunately he is not exactly close. What's his level looking like? Yeah, he is 4 levels behind this his lane opponent in the Rubik, so he's not in the greatest of positions. 1, 2, and 2, not exactly what you want for your solo mid, and it looks like he might die again here.
He's gonna get telekinesed up and just destroyed.
It's one of those things that you don't even really have to cast it, because like he just dies before you can really say what's happened. And this mid tower might end up going down as well, just because it's so low already. This is when things start getting in the danger zone for Kaipi.
Yep, as Jakiro or Bounty Hunter is facing the drum, so now he can start picking up damage. He has a Yasha as well. He's just so rich, and now Chen, no, run, gallop away. Oh, Blink Dagger up on Rubik. Oh my god, I didn't even see that coming. And Chen didn't either. Well, he saw it coming, but what could he do about it?
Whiffed. Oh, we're going to see a relocate gank, but it's going to result in really nothing. Rubik's just
no
gonna,
detection,
into the trees,
no
probably.
problem.
Yep.
And Rubik's just going to blink out to safety, trying to teleport out. Vacuum does suck Mantis back in. It looks like Mantis will die, so going to get them that 5 kill count, so good job to them. Going to delay some of that Rubik's intense free farm, but the question is, when will Sven decide to start playing the game?
Well, he's going to do the raid boss. He's going to kill the Roshan with a double damage and oh, here has a Mask of Madness as well. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, this early in the game, well, he does that double damage, but already pumping up 500 damage per hit with the God Strength on. Oh my god. He does have a point to Warcry at the very least. Meanwhile, NA is going to town on that tower. Well, not really going to town, just sort of tickling it a bit. And Bounty Hunter, trying to find his next victim. Chen knows that it's not safe anymore in the jungle.
Yeah, it's... I mean, you look at the fear in how Kaipi is positioning. Like, they aren't really farming. They're roaming as 3. Not really getting experience, not really getting farm. All hanging out by, like, tier 2 towers. This is... especially against with an extremely aggressive lineup like this Chaos Knight and Wisp, you don't want to be playing like that, because if you sit back, then you're going to just lose the one advantage you have.
Looks like there's going to be a relocate gank with Sand King teleporting in. They're trying to get Mantis. Mantis just 4 steps out of there. Looks like Sven is going to lose the Aegis, but God Strength will be online in 1 second. This could be a huge trap. Sven is going to turn on God Strength, say hi to Chaos Knight, but looks like Pavik is going to Barrel Strike back into place as Rubik comes back in as well. Pavik is trying to scurry away as fast as possible, and he is going to escape. They kill the Aegis at the very least, but they still have to sacrifice the hero in that exchange. And meanwhile, Chen... Oh no, Chen is going to get tracked. He is probably going to die while Wisp.
They just, the two Invisibros decide to split, split the feast, and each one goes a different direction to get a kill. This is
not looking good.
Yeah,
Experience graph. It's ridiculous.
Oh my. Well, and gold is too, like, not even 20 minutes in, 10k gold advantage. That's, whew.
Yeah.
I don't really have words at this point. Like, I mean, they could hold it out for a little while, but they really need to get this level 11 and even the level 16 on their Sand King, because they need that huge epicenter damage. Because at the moment, level 1 epi is just a simple tickle against pretty much everyone on this Radiant lineup.
Well, they need level 11 first before they can get level 16.
That's why I said level 11, then level 16. Thank you for paying attention here.
You're welcome. It's my commentator awareness is not as good as my map awareness, which is also not that good either. There's going to be a split up. Down there is faced the Manta. NA has 2,600 gold floating around. And again, gold graph speaks a lot, experience graph speaks more because Kaipi needs a lot of experience to get going. And they're not really finding too many places to find that because the Invisibros are just going to come in and dominate everybody as they see just now.
Yeah, Wisp is basically floating gold at this point. I mean, he's already a fairly soft and ganking-oriented support to begin with, and when you're this far behind, you might as well not show up to fights, because it's like one Janata and he almost dies at this point.
Dire's middle tower
And
is under attack.
unfortunately, Kaipi is not... Oh, that damage on Chen is just ridiculous. Pabek's gonna try and do something. That was him attempting to Epi and just gets telekinesis up. We're gonna see a Chaos Bolt onto Cat, though. But really, I don't know if they'll be able to pull anything off. We're gonna see a nice Impale to avoid that Reality Rift. And Bounty's just gonna turn around and start pumping damage into this Darkseer. Rubik.
Oh, Lothar Sen! What's up, guys? I'm here. I'm here. Don't think like you are have an advantage, because I just decided to show up a little bit late, fashionably late, and Sven, just being Sven.
Yeah, so that was a triple kill for him.
Seems like a bit of a setback.
This is a thing.
This is the thing, indeed. This does happen. As
is under attack.
Yeah. I mean, it's... What could Kaipi do to come back from this? I don't really think there is anything, because they invested so much in the, this is when they were supposed to be just taking over and dominating the game. So I don't know what they can do this far behind. If they were only a couple kills, there's, they could do some smoke ganks and stuff like this, but there's the golden experience deficit is just so huge.
Yeah,
Down
here is just camping. He has a demon edge, and he's just camping in the mid lane. I mean, Kaipi, they might just have to take some chances, get like a gem, and hope for the best. Just cross your fingers, hope everybody drops out, disconnects, and maybe they'll be okay, because Bounty Hunter, he's gonna find the Sand King. 1 hit, track, 2 hits. Oh no, he can't 4-shot him, unfortunately. And Bounty Hunter might take the fall, nice mana split, and just gets the heck out of there. As I'm pretty surprised there's no sentry wards in the mid lane, because Bounty Hunter is just having himself a field day.
Yeah, you're right where a gem would be a great pickup, but yeah, in the very least, where you're looking to farm, have some sentries down, just so that he can't run around like this. This is almost a pub-style bounty hunter where he's just able to walk around, do whatever he wants. I mean, I'm not saying Kaipi is pub players, but it's that same kind of style where nothing's being done to stop this bounty hunter at all.
No, Kaipi is actually, a really, really good team, but the problem is they're just getting stomped at this because they have an early game lineup and they got destroyed early game, and there's really not too much they can do to get back into it. Like, they're gonna have to hope for the best epi vacuum to even try to get the vestiges of comeback, but even then, even if they get the perfect epi vacuum, that won't help them get back on top. They'll just be a little bit more in the game, I suppose.
Yeah, it's one of those, you can turtle, and if they get one epi vacuum, it's not going to turn the game around for them, but it's a start. And we'll have to see if they go for something here. We're going to see an Impale on RMN. And instead, I think RMN is just going to die. Hand of God goes out, but it barely heals anything. And in the background, Watafaka is just tearing apart supports.
Sven is going to get burrow striked in. He does have BKB. He's not even bothering to use it. I loved Sven's positioning at the beginning of the fight. And here comes the cleaves. Watafaka is just, oh my god, just fountain diving like a champ. As he does die, buybacks. As Sven does buyback as well. And looks like the spirits are going to get reflected. The tower still at healthy HP. And Next.kz look like they're trolling. And they are going to just lose another hero, but they force like 3 or 4 buybacks. Sand picks up the dagger at the very least. But Sven, again, just charging in.
Now, I will say that Next.kz, while they do have a huge lead, they can't be doing like fountain dives like that. Otherwise, they could lose this game due to their own hubris. It's not likely, but it's a possibility. Not likely also when Cat finds RMN and does some damage into him. Macropyre is going to go down as well. Oh, but they might
nice
turn this around.
Strike.
And was that a spiked Carapace kill? I do believe it was.
Spiked Carapace, best spell in the game. Not even trolling.
Yeah.
Just, you know, owning everybody, starting for 2.4 seconds. Well, at least now they have level 11 stacking, almost level 14, and they have a dagger up, so they can form a bit more of defense. But Send Shadowblade trying to run in, trying to pick out the Sand King, as he has a BKB as well. As Next.kz just saying, being completely shameless, just saying, you know, look at this, guys. We need a sponsor. Sponsor us, please.
Yep. Yeah, if anyone from any sponsor is watching, I mean, look at Next.kz's performance in this game. They are good players. So
yeah,
give them some love.
They were number 2 in the West qualifiers in TI2, and you know, reach out to that Kazakhstan audience.
Is under attack.
We're gonna see just a sandstorm stolen. Boring steal. And oh, they have a gem on the Sand King now, so that'll at least again help them kind of regain control of this game. The bounty hunter won't be able to just run around doing whatever he wants. He'll just have to run straight at them with all of the items he has and blow them up anyways.
Yeah, and at this point, Wiss is just going to die so fast. Looks like he isn't going to take the fall. Rubik does pick up...
Rubik blinks in, Fade Bolt, steals Burrow, gets out. GG.
Really nice reaction times by Antis, as here comes Sven, just saying, come at me, bros.
Although...
as he's just going to rip through everybody. Oh my god, Bavar never stood a chance as... Oh, man.
Oh, poor Kaipi. So this is pretty much guaranteed to be Rax. I mean, Wisp is up in like 5, but he's not going to do anything to stop this. They just need themselves a creep wave, and then they'll be able to tear this apart.
Wisp, a very useful hero at defending and teammates when he's
the best counter pusher ever.
Yeah, as looks like the entire is going to take the fall. I mean, you might be wondering, alright, why aren't you just like commentating the fights? Again, like Fightlin said, like, what more can be said when heroes just die in 2 or 3 hits? This is looking...
Yeah, I mean, we can commentate like some of the bigger teams.
It's just bordering on the edge of just saying, alright, do we still need to explain what's going on? They're just getting dominated.
It's, unfortunately, I mean, stomps like this do happen every so often. I don't like casting them.
Oh, insult to injury, Rubik with the best item in the game.
This is officially next level troll. Pick up Rodabatos just because I don't need real items. Hero does go down, and Cat does need to run. He's going to pop the Spike Carapace and instead just turn around and get the Darkseer. And Watafaka is going to clean up RMN, and that is pretty much another team wipe. And oh my, hasted Sven. Fear.
Can you think of a scary thing 25 minutes in the game than a hasted Sven with double damage, a crit, or not double damage, with, well, it's got strength, so it's essentially double damage, running around and just I can't think of a scary thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like a
his
punch
axe
with like
number.
50 flesh heap stacks, but just running around not caring
Dire's
any
middle tower
about
is under
anything.
attack.
Yeah, as Kaipi or supports are staying in the base. I don't know why they haven't called GG yet.
Yeah,
as-
honestly, like again, I don't like calling games super early, but they went with a gamble lineup. They totally invested in their early to mid game, and it completely fell apart. So they can't really do anything. We're gonna see a relocate gank into the enemy fountain.
Oh my god, this is... Well, a good thing.
At least Kaipi is keeping it lighthearted.
Yo, if this
there we
was...
go. GG's called. We see some disconnects. They know when they've lost. I mean, it's like more than 30 kill difference.
Yo, if this is like, if Kaipi were sponsored and, you know, this was super serious, they'd be like, oh, they teleported to the fountain, unsponsored them, flamed them, banned them from all the games. No, they're just having fun, guys. They know they were beaten down. Oh, NA gonna feed to the towers. Nicely done. Good job, NA. As he died to a Snake King who was still in the game, apparently.
Yeah, there you have it. Next.kz takes both games. And at least, I don't know about game 1, but game 2, pretty handily fashion. That's not an actual word. I don't
Dire's
think,
bottom
but,
tower is under attack.
It should be. It should be. That's
yeah.
all that matters.
So, I do believe we have one other series after this.
Yeah, I think it's a DD versus somebody. I forget.
Yeah, let's see if I can dig through Skype messages. DD versus Mouse.
Ooh, that should be a good game.
That should be an
Dire's
interesting
bottom
one.
tower is under attack.
I'm always a fan of watching Mouse, because, well, they're a fun team to watch. And there you go, so we just gotta wait.
Oh, cover your eyes. Dire's bottom tower is taking a drubbing.
You... Pabek, leave the game, so this can
Dire's bottom
actually
tower
end.
has fallen. Dire's bottom
He's the
barracks
one,
are under attack.
the one lone defender.
Gear up for heavy weather.
Rapier Bounty Hunter.
Well dressed.
Bye.
Wow.
Holy Shirley, Dire's bottom
Okay.
barracks are under attack.
So yeah, 1200 crit on a, I can't see how much health, but it's like a 700 health Wisp. Sounds totally
crit.
reasonable.
Dire's
Well,
bottom
he does have
barracks
a rapier
have
and then
Wow.
KP.
Yeah. But there you go, he disconnects now as well. Just wait for the game to officially end so you guys I can show you guys the final stat screen. But dun, dun, dun. Sven also has a Daedalus.
Dire's middle tower
Uh,
has fallen.
Because, you know, you still need items at this point in the game.
Has spoken.
No, I don't know. If the Fountain Dota could be killed, I think next case he would try to go for it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But there you go. Game officially is over. And wait for the final score. Look at the last hit. It's 244 on the Sven, and the next is 108 Chaos Knight. That's just silly. But there you go, final stat screen. So like I said, we have one more. Yeah, it's DD versus Mouse is the next lineup. I don't know why I'm talking to a guy in chat who's 2 minutes behind, but